The ultimate Blox fruits tier list. Which fruits are the best for grinding? Okay, let's start with the rocket fruit. Rocket is the lowest and cheapest fruit in the game. Rocket doesn't have any good moves, and it sucks at grinding. So let's put it in F tier. Next up, we have the spin fruit. Spin is the second lowest and cheapest fruit in the game. Like Rocket, Spin doesn't have any good moves, but it's a little better than Rocket, but still it's an F tier. Next fruit is the chop fruit. Chop is one of the most annoying fruits to use. It has one good move, but it takes a lot to recharge. And we hate getting chop from rolling fruits. Chop is also an F tier. After chop, we have the spring fruit. Spring is not as bad as the others, but still spring doesn't have any good moves and it takes a while to recharge. So it's also an F tier. Next up, we have the bomb fruit. Bomb is one of the worst grinding fruits in Blox fruits. It's the same as Rocket, and it's harder to get. So no more thinking, it's a straight F tier. Next, we have our first Logia fruit. It's the smoke fruit. Smoke is a good fruit to grind with. It's an elemental, and it also has a flying ability. And smoke is the first to go higher than F tier. We will put it on D tier. Up next, we have our last common fruit, and it's the spike fruit. Spike also sucks at grinding. It's harder to get, and it has some good moves, but not as good as smoke. So we put it on F tier. Next, we have our first uncommon fruit. It's the flame fruit. Flame is a Logia fruit, and it has very good moves. Flame is one of the most memorable fruits to use in the game. It's a part of us. So I'm going to put it in B tier. Next up, we have the falcon. Falcon sucks at grinding, and it does not do much damage. It can transform, but it's still a D tier. Next, we have the ice fruit. Ice is one of the better Logia fruits. Ice has very good moves. You can walk on water with it, and it has a sword. So let's give ice an A tier. Up next, we have the sand fruit. Sand is a natural fruit. Sand has some good moves, but it is not as good, and it takes a while to recharge the attack. Let's give the sand fruit a C tier. Up next, we have the dark fruit. Dark is a Logia fruit. Dark has some good moves, but it is not as good as the rest. So let's give dark a D tier. Next up, we have one of the worst grinding fruits. It's the one and only diamond fruit. It does not have any good moves, it's expensive, and it takes a while to recharge. Diamond is a straight F tier. Next, we have the first and best rare fruit. It's the one and only light fruit. Light is an elemental fruit. Light is known for having the best moves. It has the light flight, which is the best traveling method in first and second seas. Light also has a sword. The light fruit is a straight S tier. Next, we have the rubber fruit. Rubber has some good moves, but it is not good at grinding. Rubber is overall not a bad fruit, but it is still a C tier. Next up, we have the fruit which no one uses. It's the barrier fruit. Barrier sucks at grinding. It doesn't have any great moves, and it's overall bad. I would put it on F tier, but it isn't as bad as the rest F tiers. So let's put it on D tier. Our next rare fruit is the ghost fruit. Ghost is a mid fruit. Ghost has a second life and it has some great moves, but it is not as good as grinding levels. So let's put it on C tier. Our last rare fruit is the one and only magma fruit. Magma is a Logia fruit. Magma is an overall great fruit. It has good moves, and the best part is you can awaken it. Magma is the best fruit for hunting sea beasts. Magma is an A tier fruit. The next rarity is the legendary rarity. The first legendary fruit is the quake fruit. Quake is a natural fruit. It is a mid fruit for PvP, but it sucks at grinding. It takes a lot of time to kill an NPC. So let's put quake at D tier. Next up, we have the one and only Buddha fruit. Buddha is the best grinding fruit in the game. It's good at first C, it's good at second C, and it's good at third C. I personally use Buddha. It's a straight S tier. Next up, we have the love fruit. Love is a great fruit for PvP. It has great moves and it can fly. Love is also not bad at grinding. so let's put it on B tier. Our next legendary fruit is the spider fruit. Spider is a mid fruit. It is mid at PvP and it's mid at grinding, but it has the swinging move. But spider is an overall B tier. Next up we have the sound fruit. Sound is a very good fruit for bounty hunting and it is not bad at grinding too. Sound has good moves. It is an overall A tier. I might change the tier. Our next fruit is the phoenix fruit. It is a beast fruit. It is a good fruit for bounty hunting, but it is mid at grinding for levels. Phoenix is a C tier. Our next fruit is the portal fruit. Portal is mostly used for traveling through islands. It is mid at grinding. It has some good moves, but it's not great. So let's put it on C tier. Next up, we have the rumble fruit. Rumble is a Logia fruit. It has great move. Rumble is great at bounty hunting, but it is not as good at grinding. So let's put rumble at B tier. The next fruit is the pain fruit. Pain is the most hated fruit in the game. It is very expensive and it sucks at everything, but it can still be used for grinding. So let's put it on D tier. And up next, we have our last legendary fruit. It's the blizzard fruit. Blizzard is a great fruit for everything. It is good at PvP and it is very good at grinding, but it is only good at second C. But overall, blizzard is an A tier. Our next rarity is the mythical rarity. Well, our first mythical fruit is the gravity fruit. Gravity sucks at everything, PvP, grinding, even trading. It is a straight F tier. Our next mythical fruit is the T-Rex fruit. It has great moves, it's fantastic at PvP, it's not bad at grinding too. So let's put T-Rex at A tier. Next up we have the mammoth fruit. Mammoth is a beast fruit. It has great moves and a transformation. It's great at PvP and it's great at grinding too. So let's put mammoth at A tier. Next up we have one of the best mythical grinding fruit. It's the dough fruit. Dough is an elemental fruit. It's good at PvP and it's fantastic at grinding, but it will be at its best when you awaken it. Dough is an overall S tier. Next up we have the shadow fruit. Shadow is a great fruit for PvP, but it isn't as good at grinding. Shadow is a bit expensive, but overall it's a B tier. Our next mythical fruit is the venom fruit. Venom is a beast fruit, which is a great fruit for bounty hunting. It's also good at grinding because it does a lot of damage. So let's put venom at A tier. Next up we have the control fruit. Control is mostly used for PvP. It is not as bad at grinding too. It has some good moves and it does a lot of damage. So let's put control at B tier. Our next mythical fruit is the spirit fruit. Spirit is an overall great fruit. It's good at PvP and it is good at grinding, but it is not as good as the rest. So let's put spirit at B tier. Next up we have the dragon fruit. Well, where is our dragon rework Blox fruits? Okay. Dragon is good at PvP, but it's mid at grinding. Let's put dragon at B tier. The next fruit is the leopard fruit. Leopard is a beast fruit. It does a lot of damage. It's very good at PvP and it's very good at grinding. Let's put leopard at S tier for now. And the last fruit in the game, we have the kitsune fruit. Kitsune is the best at everything. It's very good at PvP, it's very good at grinding, it's fast, it has a great transformation, but it's expensive. So the kitsune is going in S tier. Let's look at the end result. Well, I think we should change leopard and magma with places, and let's change love and sound with places. I think this is correct. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.